Hi everyone! I'm going to be showing you how to make the activities in your take-home art kits. We're going to be making these really amazing paper flowers inspired by Monique Martin's exhibition Context is Everything. We'll also be creating these paper mache islands inspired by Jude Griebel's use of paper mache in his sculptures in Illuminated Collapse. We'll start by creating our crepe paper flowers. So I decided to start by using the yellow crepe paper to make the center of my flower. So I cut a rectangle about 4 centimeters by about 15 centimeters. Then I just folded it in half to make this next step go a little bit quicker and cut out tiny little notches in the crepe paper to make the end all frilly. Next, you want to take your floral wire as well as your glue, and we're going to be attaching the yellow center to the wire. So start by just taking a little bit of glue. You can use the popsicle stick to help you. And we're just going to start by dabbing a little bit of glue on the edge. Then we just take our floral wire, rest it on there, and now we're going to begin to wrap the yellow crepe paper around the floral wire. So this part can get a little bit finicky, but just take your time and you'll get there. Just keep applying some more glue as you go along and keep rolling the paper around the floral wire. You want to be sure that you put some glue on at the end so that it all stays in place, and just finish wrapping it up. And when you're done, it'll look something like this. Now we're going to make the petals for our flower. So I decided to go with a classic white daisy. So I started by cutting out another rectangle. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's about maybe 6 to 7 centimeters by about 15 centimeters. Then I started folding it over on itself, making the folds about 1 centimeter or so, the width of the petals that I want to make. Now you want to make sure that the lines that you can see in the crepe paper go lengthways on your petal. And here I'm just going to start kind of cutting out just a very basic petal shape. You can do any kind of petal shape that you want. You can make your petals skinnier or fatter or rounder, however which way you want to go. Now you can see they're all attached to each other, so I just use my scissors to separate the petals. The nice thing about crepe paper with the lines that they have is that you can actually use your fingers to kind of smooth out the lines and make your petals all frilly. So now we're going to start going around the entire of the center with our petals. So just get a dab of glue, put some glue on the center, and then we're just going to start applying our petals one by one. So this step can also be a little bit finicky, but just take your time and you'll get there. Now, if you wanted, you could use hot glue for this if you're finding that the glue is taking too long to dry. Now, one thing I'll note is that you do want to make sure you'll see that the petals aren't fully covering the yellow center, and that's okay. You can see right there, but that's okay because that's going to get covered up. So like I said, if the white glue isn't really behaving for you, you can use hot glue, but you do want to make sure that you have permission before you use a hot glue gun. They can get really hot. You want to make sure that you have permission, and even better, adult supervision, especially if you're younger. So now we're just going to keep going around, adding a little bit more glue and adding the petals. So now here's a trick. If you're finding that the glue is taking a little long to dry, or you're just getting impatient like me, you can actually take a piece of cotton thread and you can just wrap it around and tie it in a little knot, and it'll help to keep it in place. The nice thing about this is that you will never know that the thread is there once we're done. So now I'm adding the outer layer of the petals and just doing the exact same process, adding some more glue and adding the petals on until we finish the flower. Once again, I'm going to use my trick with the thread and just hold it in place. I did this mostly because I was impatient and I just wanted to keep moving along, but it is a great little trick to use if you want. Now we need to kind of cover up that the base of the flower. Look how cute that looks. So you can actually kind of adjust the petals any which way you like. So to cover the base of our flower, I'm just going to take a little square of the green. This is about a 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter square rectangle kind of shape. And I'm just cutting out these little V's on the top just to add some, make them look a little bit more like a real flower. I'm just going to cut those out. And then what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be wrapping this around the base. So just apply a little bit more of the white glue and then carefully wrap around your green square, just like that. Make sure to add glue at the end so that it stays in place. Just stick it down and then you can just kind of twist it around to kind of keep itself in place as we move on to the next step. The next step is to create our leaves. So you don't have to make leaves if you don't want to. I decided to make just these very simple basic leaf shapes. So I just cut another rectangle. This one's a little bit longer because I'm going to be making 2 leaves out of this. See, I just kind of folded it in half and to get 2 shapes. And then I folded it in half again, this time lengthways. And then I'm going to just cut out a basic leaf shape. So on here, because I folded it in half lengthways, I only have to cut out the 1/2 of the leaf. And when you open it up, it's nice and symmetrical, just like that. And so we'll do that again. And now it's time for the floral tape. So floral tape, you'll see it's not really sticky, but once you start to pull it, that's when the stickiness kind of starts to happen. So this next part, once again, a little bit finicky, but take your time and you'll get there. Now the floral tape will stick to itself, so you just gotta kind of put it on there and start wrapping around, and you'll notice pretty quickly that it's gonna start to stick to itself. And it's just a case of wrapping all the way down the wire. And this just helps to create a really nice polished look to our flower stem. It also allows us to attach our leaves. So when you're ready to attach a leaf, just kind of place it up against the floral wire and as best you can, wrap it in using the floral tape. So just kind of wrap the tape around it. You may have to kind of wrestle with your leaf a little bit, but take your time and you'll get there. So I added one up here and then I just added the second one just about 1.5 centimeters down, just to try and make it have a bit of a more natural look. And you can do whatever you like. You can add lots of leaves, you can add no leaves, you can do all sorts of kind of leaf shapes. It's totally up to you what kind of flower you want to create. And so just to finish it off, you just finish rolling the tape around the stem. And at the very end, you can just you can cut it off. It actually rips pretty easily. So you can you see me here just kind of ripping off that little tail end right there. And I had so much fun making this flower, I decided to make a second one, this time with slightly bigger petals, and I think it looks really good. All right, so for our next activity, we're going to be making our paper mache islands inspired by Jude Griebel's sculptures. So start by taking your piece of recycled cardboard, this is going to be the base, and start by sketching out the shape of your island. So I decided to go for kind of a big sausage shape island, and then a smaller, just kind of oval, tiny island, just like that. Now, at this point, I realized that I had forgotten to put down a piece of card underneath my work surface, because this next part's gonna get a little messy. Yeah, that's much better. So now we're gonna take our pieces of paper towel and our white glue, and now we're gonna form our island. So it's very easy and lots of fun. Just apply some glue within the shape of your island there, and take a scrunched up ball of paper towel and just plump it in place, and take your glue and just kind of keep adding glue to it to kind of adhere it down to the cardboard. And we're just going to be following this process basically to create our entire island. So here, added just a little bit more glue to the cardboard, took another ball of scrunched up paper towel, put it down, added some more glue on top, and just keep adding more and more glue. So I was doing it real quickly here to show you. Add as much glue as you need. So I also wanted to create a mountain on my island, so I just molded my paper towel into a mountain shape, and you can do whatever you like. And once you're done, it's gonna look something like this. So after about a day or two, that glue is gonna dry rock hard, and you can use cardboard to add little pieces. I added these little houses and this shark and some boats. You can do whatever you like. So now we're ready to paint. So I decided to go for some very just basic island colors. We'll start with the blue for the blue ocean. Yeah, just slop it right on there. So I'm just doing this to demonstrate. So I'm not gonna finish the entire island now, just to show you. I also had some brown for the rock or the earth on the island. You can use black or gray, whatever you have at home. And then also some green for the vegetation on the island. So just slop the paint on just like that. Now you can also use the smaller paintbrush for some finer details like I did here with the beach, using the golden yellow paint for the golden yellow sand. And once you're done, it'll look something like this. And I think my island turned out pretty good. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. You can see here, I even added a little cave and some trees. There's the little houses on the beach. There's a shark even, and some boats. And I even added some lighter blue to create some extra texture. So I really hope that you enjoyed making these activities. Be sure to send pictures of your artwork to us at programs@g2gf.ca.